Om Namah Shivaya. The unique features of our religion. Discourse by MahaPeriyava from the book Voice of God, Volume 1. There are several features in our religion which are not found in other religions. It is said that the karma theory is one of them. Although Buddhism and Jainism, which are offshoots of our religion, accept this theory, it is not there in other religions. What is this karma theory? Every action has a reaction. Physicists call this the law of cause and effect, action and reaction which are inexorable. Our ancients have applied these laws of physics to human life and have propounded the karma theory. The sentient world is as much a part of the universe as the insentient. It is the combination of the two that constitutes life in this world. Therefore, the laws and dharma governing the one must be applicable to the other also. Karma theory is that every action of a man must have a reaction. Our religion says that if a man commits a sinful act, he has to undergo the punishment for it, and if he performs virtuous deeds, the favorable fruits of such deeds shall accrue to him. Our religion says that man gets several births because he has to experience the consequences of his sinful and virtuous acts. Although all religions say that good deeds should be performed and bad deeds should be avoided, they do not say it as emphatically as our religion does, on the basis of the law of cause and effect. None of the other religions, those not born in Bharat, talks of the reincarnation theory. Not only that, they talk of several concepts contrary to this theory. Therefore, these religionists strongly oppose our doctrine that man will go through several births till his karma is completely worked out. Generally, the idea of other religions is that man's life on this earth is a one-time affair. At the end of his life, he will have to remain at one place awaiting the Lord's judgment, and on the day of judgment, the Lord will weigh his good and bad deeds on the earth and send him either to eternal heaven or eternal hell. An Englishman who came to me, these days a number of Englishmen come to me, was a well-known author. He narrated a humorous anecdote. He was of the view that in the Bible there was inconsistency in that on the one hand it proclaims everywhere that God is love, and on the other that such a God mercilessly sends away to eternal hell even a person who committed a single wrong. He therefore asked for an explanation from a priest, who told him it is true that there is permanent hell, but it is permanently empty. But if you think about it, it will be difficult to accept this. Let us assume that the Lord does not send even the sinner to hell. If so, according to their philosophy, where can the sinner be sent? Since they do not have the concept of rebirth, he cannot be sent back to the world. Therefore, even the sinner has to be sent to heaven, in which case it would mean that people can go on committing any sin any number of times without any fear, and the Lord will send them to heaven. If that happens, people of the world will indulge in misconduct only. According to our religion too, the Lord who dispenses the fruits of our actions is all merciful. But on that account, he will not allow the world to knowingly slide down into adharma. So what does he do? In order to experience the consequences of our sins, the fruits of our virtuous deeds also, he gives us another life and sends us back to the world. The sufferings of hell and joys of heaven are all in this world only. Since we had done a mix of good and bad deeds in our previous birth, we now experience a combination of the good and the bad. Those of us who had committed lot of sins suffer much. Those who had done virtuous deeds lead a happy life. Generally, there are only those who suffer much or those who have the mix of suffering and happiness. Rare are those who feel they are extremely happy. From this, it is clear that generally all of us have committed more sins. The Lord out of compassion, gives a great opportunity in the form of another birth, in the hope that man may wipe out his sins at least in the new birth. He comes forward to clear his dirt by giving him a guru, the sastra, pilgrimage centers, etc. To say that with faith in man that he will pull himself up, he gives another birth and extends his support to his efforts in many ways, is better and more appropriate than saying that the Lord considers man as useless, who cannot improve himself, and therefore sends him to heaven despite his being a sinner. This is appropriate and merciful too. It is true that the Lord Himself lifts him up when he surrenders to Him with the feeling, "What effort can I make on my own? Everything is in your hand." But it is one thing to bless man when he gives up his effort and surrenders. But it is different if he blesses him in the thought he is unfit to make an effort. So long as it is thought that there is such a thing as human effort, to have faith in man and leave him to his effort is only great compassion. That is also real blessing. That the Lord does not send anybody to permanent hell is only the view of an individual priest. It cannot be said that it is the doctrine of religions such as Christianity which believe in one birth only. Their philosophy generally is that the Lord sends one to permanent heaven or permanent hell depending on sins committed by him or virtuous deeds performed by him in one birth. Moreover, since we generally commit sins only, those who are awarded the punishment of hell will be more in number, and because of this, the day of judgment has been given a fearful name, Doomsday. This is, in my view, detracts from the quality of mercy of the Lord. Om Namah Shivaya. We shall listen to the continuation of this discourse in the next post. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shankara Jai Jai Shankara. Kanchi Shankara Kamakoti Shankara.